In the shadows where truth and tales intertwine, we find the thrilling, the chilling, the downright spine-tingling. From the paranormal to the peculiar, every echo has a story. Dare to delve into the unexpected, the unexplained? Brace yourself, for you're about to embark on a journey where fear meets fascination. Stay tuned if you dare, for stories that will make your heart race and your mind ponder. Welcome to the realm of the eerie, the realm of the unknown. And remember, like and subscribe, if you dare. The wind whispered through the towering pines as I patrolled the darkened trails of Pinecrest National Park. My name is John, a ranger, the sentinel of these woods for more years than I care to count. There's a certain allure to the wilderness, a crispness in the air, the rustle of leaves beneath your boots, the hush that blankets the world as the sun dips below the horizon, leaving only the moon to keep you company. But tonight, the forest felt different. It was as if the trees were holding their breath, as if the entire natural world was waiting for something that sent a shiver of anticipation rippling through the underbrush. My hand tightened around my flashlight, its beam cutting a swath through the inky blackness, the only bulwark against the enveloping night. These woods are ancient, alive with stories whispered from one generation of rangers to the next. Tales of inexplicable occurrences, of voices carried on the wind, of figures glimpsed in the corner of the eye. Most of us dismiss these stories as the product of overactive imaginations fueled by the solitude and the shadows. Yet as I ventured deeper, the familiar comfort of the forest gave way to a growing sense of unease. The symphony of nocturnal life, usually so vibrant, was conspicuously absent, replaced by an unsettling silence that seemed to swallow the crunch of my boots on the gravel path, amplifying it into a thunderous echo that reverberated in the stillness. The hairs on the back of my neck prickled, an instinctual reaction to the shift in the atmosphere. The forest was no longer a refuge, but a stage set for some unknown drama. My heart pounded in my chest, a steady drumbeat in the silent tableau. And then, the silence was broken. My radio crackled to life, its abrupt chatter cutting through the stillness like a knife. Reports of strange sightings near the old mill trail. A cold knot of apprehension twisted in my gut as I changed my course, plunging deeper into the heart of the mystery. The crunch of my boots on the gravel seemed to echo in the stillness, sending shivers down my spine. My radio crackled to life, startling me. "John, come in. We've got reports of strange sightings near Old Mill Trail. Check it out, over." The voice echoed in the stillness, a jarring reminder of the civilization I'd left behind. With a swift acknowledgement, I changed my course, steering my boots toward the Old Mill Trail. As I moved further into the forest, the air grew colder, as if the trees themselves were exhaling icy breaths. A thick fog began to settle, clinging to the gnarled branches and transforming the familiar landscape into a spectral tableau. The silence was deafening, broken only by the crunch of my boots on the frost-kissed leaves. My flashlight sputtered, its beam cutting through the fog like a lighthouse beacon lost in a stormy sea. The light danced upon the fog, casting long, distorted shadows that seemed to sway independently of their wooden counterparts. Each step brought me closer to the old mill, an ancient structure that stood as a testament to time's relentless march. Once a bustling hub of activity, it now lay abandoned, the wooden planks weathered and worn, the windows hollow and lifeless. As I neared the mill, an unnatural chill swept through the air. It was as if the warmth had been sucked out of the world, leaving behind only a cold, hollow echo. The wind rustled through the trees, carrying with it whispers of forgotten tales and lost souls. The mill's creaky wheel, a rusty remnant of a bygone era, began to turn slowly. There was no wind to propel it, no water to give it momentum. It moved as if guided by an unseen hand, the rusty metal groaning in protest. Strangely, the sight of the turning wheel comforted me. It was a sign of life, a beacon of hope in the midst of the eerie wilderness. But as I watched the wheel turn, I couldn't shake off the feeling of unease. The mill's creaky wheel turned slowly, propelled by an unseen force. I heard a distant, mournful howl that sent shivers down my spine. The sound was an alien melody, a tune that seemed to echo from some forgotten corner of the world. It wasn't the call of any creature indigenous to Pinecrest National Park. The howl seemed to resonate through the trees, an eerie lament carried on the wind, disturbing the silence of the night. The forest seemed to respond to the mournful call, the rustling leaves whispering secrets I couldn't comprehend. The shadows deepened, and the moon, once a comforting presence, seemed to shy away, leaving me in an impenetrable darkness. The flashlight in my hand, my only source of light, flickered one last time before giving out completely. The darkness swallowed me whole, leaving me blind in the heart of the forest. I was a stranger in a world that had suddenly turned hostile. My heart pounded in my chest, a frantic rhythm that seemed deafening in the quiet wilderness. The cold seeped into my bones, and the eerie silence was shattered by another sound, an ominous guttural growl. It was closer this time, a threatening rumble that seemed to reverberate in the very air around me. The sense of dread intensified, wrapping around me like a shroud. I fumbled for the spare batteries in my pocket, my hands shaking uncontrollably. The growl echoed again, closer, louder, a tangible reminder of the unseen danger lurking in the shadows. The chill of the night bit into my skin, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. The howl echoed once more, a mournful sound that seemed to carry a warning. I was an intruder in this realm of darkness, a trespasser in a world that belonged to creatures of the night. The forest held its breath, the silence thick and suffocating. I could hear my own heartbeat, a frantic drumbeat against the quiet of the night. The growl resonated again, closer than ever, a sound that seemed to come from the very depths of the forest. Panic set in as I fumbled for spare batteries, my hands shaking. The darkness seemed to press in from all sides, a relentless, suffocating force. The growl echoed once more, a sinister promise of things to come. I forced myself to move, relying on instinct and the moon's feeble glow to guide me. The forest was a labyrinth of shadows and sounds, each rustle and creak echoing through the darkness like a phantom's lament. The underbrush was thick and unyielding, its gnarled roots tripping me up as I navigated the treacherous terrain. Suddenly, a pair of glowing eyes appeared in the shadows. They shone like two luminescent orbs, radiating a cold, eerie light that seemed to pierce the darkness. They followed my every move, their gaze unwavering and intense. I could feel them on me, watching, waiting. In the depths of my fear, I could feel an odd kind of fascination. Who or what was this creature lurking in the darkness? Was it a figment of my imagination, a trick of the light, or something far more sinister? My radio crackled to life once again, its sudden noise startling me. The voice that came through was garbled, distorted, as if it was being transmitted from another dimension. The words were unintelligible, a cacophony of static and strange alien sounds. It was as if the forest itself was trying to communicate with me, its voice a chilling symphony of whispers and echoes. The eyes in the shadows didn't waver. Their gaze locked onto me with an intensity that made my blood run cold. They were like two beacons in the darkness, their glow becoming brighter and more intense with each passing second. The oppressive silence of the forest was suddenly shattered by the sound of footsteps. They were slow, deliberate, echoing through the darkness with a chilling precision. They were in perfect sync with my own, a macabre mirror of my fear-stricken journey through the forest. The more I moved, the closer the footsteps seemed to get. The forest was alive with sounds now, a cacophony of whispers and rustles that seemed to be closing in on me. It was as if the very trees were conspiring against me, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers in the darkness. As the footsteps grew louder, I could feel a presence closing in on me. The eyes in the shadows seemed to grow brighter, their gaze more intense. The forest held its breath, waiting for what was to come next. The oppressive silence was shattered by the sound of footsteps, slow, deliberate, and in perfect sync with my own. Panic and fear gripped me, but I pressed on, my heart pounding in my chest. The trees whispered secrets in the wind, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. Then, out of the inky blackness, a ghostly figure emerged. It was cloaked in shadows, its face hidden beneath a tattered hood. It was a specter of the forest, an embodiment of the fears whispered among us rangers. The figure raised a hand, motionless, as if time itself had stopped. It spoke, its voice a chilling whisper that seemed to come from the depths of the forest itself. "You trespass in a realm not meant for the living, John," it said. The words hung in the air, icy and foreboding. "Leave now, or become a part of the eternal darkness." I stumbled backward, my blood turning to ice. The realization hit me like a punch in the gut. The tales weren't just stories. They were warnings, and I had ignored them. I was a stranger in a land that belonged to the shadows, and they wanted me gone. I turned to flee, my heart pounding like a drum in my chest. The eyes in the shadows followed my every move, watching, waiting. The forest was alive with a sinister energy, the trees closing in around me. The figure stood still, a haunting silhouette against the moonlit backdrop. But as I stumbled through the underbrush, the figure began to fade. It became one with the shadows, its form dissolving into the darkness. Its warning echoed in my mind, a chilling reminder of the unseen dangers lurking in the forest. The fog thickened, swallowing the last remnants of the ghostly figure. I was alone again, but the forest was different. It was haunted, alive with a presence I couldn't explain. I knew then that I would never look at Pinecrest National Park the same way again. The fog thickened, and the figure vanished, leaving me alone in the haunted woods. And so, our tale of the Campfire Horrors comes to an end. Until next time, sleep tight. Before we part ways, dear viewers, remember to stay vigilant. The Campfire Horrors may have been extinguished for now, but the embers of the unknown always remain. As you lay down to sleep tonight, don't forget the lessons from our tale. Safety is but a fleeting moment in a world of unseen. So, if you've enjoyed this journey into the abyss, don't forget to ring that bell and smash that like button. Do it before the thing under your bed decides to pay you a visit. Oh, and keep those night lights on. You never know what might be lurking in the dark. Thank you for embarking on this terrifying adventure with us. Until our paths cross again in another tale of the unknown. Goodbye and sweet dreams, if you can.